the special teams. We've talked a lot about the power play and its effective work, but also the PK was outstanding. Just how big of a factor were special teams overall last weekend in Chicago?
I mean, you score 7 power play goals, it's going to have an impact on the game, and that's not something we can expect. What we're hoping for is that, if you can score 3 out of every 10 and you can bring momentum back to your bench the other 7, then the power play is doing their job. Our penalty kill has been very good. Obviously, that's something that you have to really commit to and work on, and our guys take a lot of pride in it. So, certainly the X factor for any good team is their ability to execute in the special teams game. And, we're playing a team this weekend that's very capable in both scenarios, and so we're going to have to be prepared.
Depth contributions top to bottom in the lineup also were huge. I felt like the decor especially. We talked about the injuries, banging them up. It's just one of those weekends, I imagine, where you can kind of re-stress the guys, hey, it's everyone all together.
It's all hands on deck. Everybody has an important role on this team, and I've made sure to let the guys know, you are valued, you are important, you are a part of our success, whether you're playing 20 minutes a night, playing 12 minutes a night, playing on the power play, not playing on the power play, doesn't matter. We can't win unless everybody's pulling the same direction, everybody's committed to our success.
How good was that for guys just to see as many pucks go in the net as possible? Because we saw some games where they're playing well and just weren't rewarded.
Yeah, you love to have those weekends. You score 15 in 2 games, those are exciting, but those are not the norm. This is a hard league to play in, and it's usually a race to 3 on most nights. And so when you're scoring 7 and 8, though, enjoy those weekends because they don't happen very often, but when they do, things are clicking. They're certainly fun games to be a part of.
We've talked before about how early in the season guys have to learn how to play on the road. These guys seem to love it, with only 1 loss away from the icebox in true road games.
Yeah, I think that they're a close group. They like spending time together. They like being on the road together, and I honestly think sometimes it's easier. There's no distraction, and you're just focused on your objective and what you need to do to accomplish to win a game. And at home, there's obviously different type of things that not get in the way, but create a different challenge that our guys have to deal with, and so. We've been able to be successful on the road, and that's a huge part of why we've had success early on this year, because we haven't been as successful here at home as we'd like to be, and that's something we need to focus on as well.
And speaking of challenges, which one some of the biggest ones that Waterloo presents this weekend?
Well, it starts with the massive sheet of ice that you play on there, and they're built to play on that ice. They practice on it every day. They're comfortable with different angles and the depth of the corners and the size of the neutral zone and the amount of space behind the net and all those things. So that's going to be a big adjustment for our guys that have never played there before, but they're talented. They defend well. They play well in transition. They've got good goaltending. They're coached well. I mean, it's a great organization top to bottom, and one we certainly respect.
Seems like also when playing at that rink, we saw in the playoffs a lot, wall play is just even more gigantic than usual. It seemed like that really led to a lot of goals last postseason.
Well, there's 2 reasons for that. It's harder to defend the walls because you have to go further, and then when you do get a play off the wall, there's so much more space from the dot to the wall that guys tend to be out of defensive position, and so you have to be able to adjust to that extra space and cover it without over pursuing and putting yourself on the wrong side of the puck.
We talked a lot about it last weekend. Gio DeJulian having the huge weekend, 4 goals for him. It seems like he has had such a knack this season for scoring huge goals, hasn't he?
That's the type of player that he is. Gio's humble, and he's also got some swagger to him. And there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance, and Gio's very far from arrogant, but very close to confident. And he's a kid that knows that if he's playing well and he's moving his feet, he's touching pucks first, he's going to be able to generate offense. He's got a great release. He gets puck off his stick really quickly. He's able to change his shooting lane, and so he presents a unique challenge because he's just as capable of advancing a puck, making a play to one of his line mates as he is to just shoot it in the net.
Drew, you kind of jumped right into the action with the Stars the last couple of weeks here. 3 games into the team. You got that first goal out of the way on Saturday. Looked like on Friday you might have had one before that penalty was called up. How nice was it to get that first goal of the team on Saturday?
I mean, obviously it felt nice. You know, I've been struggling scoring goals back in Omaha this year, so great feeling to get that first one of the year.
Take me through that one. It was a redirection late in the game on the power play. Weber let it loose, and redirection goals in this league are always really impressive when you see them.
I mean, yeah, great face-off win by Schlaner on that play, and then obviously great shot by Webbs, and I was lucky enough to be in a good spot to get a redirection there.
Getting traded is always strange. You had it twice now. You were kind of with your Youngstown's property. You hadn't played for them yet. You go to Omaha, then trade from Omaha to Lincoln. I guess it was probably easier the second time around once you knew you were getting traded, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously it's a lot closer than my drive last year, but I mean, it's been great here so far, and everyone's been nice, so great experience so far.
How'd you find out when you got traded, and then what was the first thing you did after that?
I was at my house. I didn't travel with Omaha because I knew I was getting traded. So they called me around 1 or 2 o'clock on a Friday. Right after that, I pretty much packed up, drove right over here, probably less than an hour, and then watched the game that night and played on Saturday.
What was it like when you found out it was Lincoln? How good was that was a feeling, and how was maybe expectations? How have they lived up since then?
I mean, obviously I was pretty excited. Really good. They had a really good team this year, so I mean, Omaha hasn't been great in the past. I was really excited to head over to a team that's going to win some games this year, and it's been great so far.
Only 3 games with the team, but how do you feel like you're gelling in the system, and what do you feel you bring to the table with the Stars?
I feel like it's gone pretty well so far. I mean, obviously that first game we didn't know much about systems, but starting to get used to it here over the last week and a half or so of practice, and I feel like I've been fitting in pretty well, playing on the wing now, so I don't know, it's all been great so far.
And what can fans kind of expect from you? They've only seen you at 1 game here, the 2 games in Chicago. What's your game like, and what elements do you maybe bring to the table?
I mean, I'm usually a pass-first guy. Look to rack up the assists, but score a goal here and there. But I like to play a 200-foot game when I can, but that's about it.
You're 3-0, the team's 3-0 since you joined here. What do you have to do this weekend to improve to 5-0 since you've been a Lincoln Star?
I mean, Waterloo is a really good team, second in the West, I believe. So just stick to what's been working, getting pucks deep on our D zone, make sure we're closing guys off, and we should be fine.